Most people completely misunderstand what it takes to register a company in Israel, and because of that misunderstanding, they end up either paying too much, wasting months of time, or worse, choosing the wrong business structure entirely and getting stuck in legal confusion they never expected. And if you're watching this, there's a high chance you're either thinking about starting a business in Israel, expanding your company internationally, or trying to understand whether an Israeli LLC style structure even exists in the way people talk about it online. But here's the surprising truth that nobody clearly explains at the beginning. There is no exact LLC structure in Israel like there is in the United States. And that one detail changes everything about how you approach this process. Because what people call an Israel LLC is usually referring to a private company structure known as a limited company, which operates under completely different rules, tax systems, and registration steps than a US LLC. And if you don't understand that early, you can easily make decisions that cost you time, money, and even legal compliance issues down the road. But before we get into the technical steps, let's slow down and look at the real story behind what it means to start a business in Israel. Because for most entrepreneurs, this isn't just paperwork. It's a decision that changes where your company exists, how it gets taxed, and how it operates globally. Now imagine someone like Michael. Michael is a 34-year-old software developer from Austin, Texas. He built a small SaaS product that started getting traction internationally, especially from users in Europe and the Middle East. And suddenly, he starts getting messages from potential clients in Israel, asking if he can set up a local entity so they can work with him more easily and trust his billing structure. At first, Michael thinks, easy. I'll just open an LLC in Israel. But that's where his journey begins to get complicated. Because when he starts researching, he realizes nothing is as simple as forming an LLC with a few clicks. And what he discovers next completely changes his approach to global business. But here's where it gets interesting. Michael isn't alone. Every year, thousands of entrepreneurs try to expand into Israel thinking it works like the US system by the way. And most of them hit the same wall. Confusion. So let's break this down clearly, step by step, in a way that actually makes sense even if you've never registered a company before in your life. First, you need to understand what business structure actually exists in Israel. The most common structure is called a private company, limited by shares. This is the closest equivalent to an LLC. It provides limited liability protection, meaning your personal assets are generally protected from business debts. But unlike a US LLC, it is more formal, more regulated, and involves more ongoing compliance requirements. And this is where many people get surprised. Because in Israel, forming a company is not just about filling out an online form. It involves interaction with the company's registrar, submitting legal documents, defining shareholders, appointing directors, and setting a registered address inside the country. Now imagine Sarah, a freelance marketing consultant from New York. She decides she wants to expand her services into Israel because she lands a contract with a Tel Aviv-based startup. She assumes she can just register a simple business entity and start invoicing. But instead, she finds herself dealing with Hebrew documents, notarized forms, and legal requirements she didn't anticipate. And this is where most beginners start to feel overwhelmed. But here's the problem. The complexity isn't random. It exists because Israel has a highly structured corporate legal system designed to ensure transparency, tax compliance, and investor protection. And once you understand that logic, everything becomes easier to navigate. So let's walk through the actual process of registering a company in Israel step by step, but in a way that feels like a real journey rather than a checklist. The first stage is choosing your company structure. For most foreign entrepreneurs, the default choice is a private limited company. Why? Because it allows foreign ownership, limits liability, and is widely accepted by banks and investors. But here's the detail most people miss. You need at least one director, and that director does not have to be an Israeli citizen, but the company must have a registered address in Israel. And that single requirement often becomes the first real obstacle for international founders. Because now Michael, our software entrepreneur, realizes he needs either a local representative, a service provider, or a virtual office setup in Israel. And this is where things start to feel real. Because you are no longer just starting a business. You are building a legal presence in another country. Next comes the name registration process. You cannot simply pick any name and assume it's available. The company's registrar checks whether the name is unique and not misleading, or too similar to existing entities. And while this sounds simple, delays often happen here if your proposed name conflicts with existing businesses. Now here's where things get more interesting. Once the name is approved, you move into document preparation. This includes the company's articles of association. Think of this as the internal rulebook of your company. It defines how decisions are made, how shares are allocated, and how the company operates. For someone like Sarah, this is the first moment she realizes this is not quick setup. This is legal architecture. But here's the hidden advantage. Once properly set up, an Israeli private company is highly respected internationally, especially in technology, startups, and export-driven industries. This is one of the reasons Israel is often called the startup nation, and that reputation carries real weight in global business negotiations. But there's one more step that often surprises people. Tax registration. After incorporation, you must register with Israeli tax authorities, including VAT registration, if applicable, and corporate tax setup. And this is where strategic decisions become critical. Because depending on your business model, your tax obligations can vary significantly. Now, let's pause for a moment, because this is where many entrepreneurs make a costly assumption. They think registration is the end. But in reality, it's just the beginning. And what happens next is what determines whether your company runs smoothly or becomes a compliance headache. So let's go back to Michael. He successfully registers his company. He has his documents, his legal entity, and even his Israeli business address. He feels accomplished. But then he gets his first tax filing reminder. And suddenly, he realizes something important. Running a company in Israel requires ongoing reporting, accounting, and compliance filings. This includes annual financial statements, tax submissions, and corporate updates. And if missed, penalties can apply. But here's the turning point. Instead of seeing this as a burden, Michael starts to understand something deeper. This system forces structure. It forces clarity. It forces business discipline. And that's where his mindset begins to shift. Because now he is no longer just a freelancer operating casually across borders. He is running an international company with formal legal standing. And that identity shift is powerful. But there's still more you need to understand. Because registration alone doesn't guarantee business success in Israel. You also need to think about banking. And this is another area where many foreign entrepreneurs get stuck. Israeli banks have strict due diligence processes, especially for foreign-owned companies. They will ask for documentation, business plans, and proof of activity. And this is where preparation makes all the difference. Because without proper documentation, your company can exist legally, but still struggle to operate financially. Now here's the pattern most people don't expect. Sometimes, the hardest part of starting a company isn't forming it. It's activating it, making it operational in the real economy. And this is where strategy matters more than paperwork. So what is the smarter approach? Instead of rushing through registration, experienced entrepreneurs plan the entire structure first. They define ownership, tax strategy, banking setup, and operational flow before submitting the first document. And this is what separates struggling founders from successful international operators. But let's go deeper into something even more important. Why do people actually choose Israel for business expansion in the first place? Because it's not just about legal structure. It's about opportunity. Israel has a strong technology ecosystem, high startup density, and global investor attention. For industries like cybersecurity, SaaS, biotech, and fintech, it is one of the most active innovation hubs in the world. And that's why entrepreneurs like Michael are willing to go through the complexity. Because the upside can be significant. But here's the final insight that ties everything together. Registering a company in Israel is not just a legal process. It is a strategic decision that connects you to a global innovation network. And when you understand it that way, the complexity starts to make sense. Because every requirement, every document, every compliance rule is designed to support a structured, transparent business environment. Now let's bring everything together. If you are planning to register a company in Israel, you now understand the real landscape. There is no simple LLC button. There is a structured legal process involving company formation, documentation, tax registration, banking setup, and ongoing compliance. But you also now understand something more important. This process is not designed to stop you. It is designed to formalize you, to turn an idea into a recognized international entity. And that shift, from informal operator to structured business owner, is where real growth begins. So whether you are like Michael expanding a SaaS product, or like Sarah entering a new market, the key is not rushing. It's understanding the system before you enter it. Because once you understand it, the entire process becomes predictable, manageable, and strategic. And that is the real advantage most people never discover. Now if you found this guide helpful, and want more deep, practical breakdowns of global business setups, international company formation, and real-world entrepreneurship strategies, make sure to subscribe for more guides like this. Because the more you understand how these systems work, the more powerful your decisions become. And in global business, clarity is your biggest advantage.